Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Institutions, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida LO 76508, Georgia 69178, Idaho, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done. When you're in need and don't know where to go, pick up the phone and call mom.
Are we live?
Yes. All right. Well, welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and I've got Miss Heidi Schlegel Points back. She was gone last week. How you doing, Heidi?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Just trying to get all set up. We were running a little late here, so we're sliding into the seat and getting rolling. You know how it goes. So where were you again? Oh, you had the windows going. You had your windows going. All right.
Yes.
So let me start with, this is Mortgage Mom Radio. You guys are listening to Mortgage Mom Radio. I am Debbie Marcoux, and I have got my sidekick, Heidi Schlegel Points. She is my co-host. She is my left hand, right hand, my everything hand. She works on your loans, and she gets them closed for you. So she's the best. That's who we've got on Zoom with us, not in studio, but we are Mortgage Mom Radio. What do? We educate you guys. We get you ready. We get you prepared to buy your first house, buy your second house, refinance your property, whatever it is that you might need to do to get there. That's what we're helping you with. Whether we need to do some credit repair to get you to the finish line, maybe you're self-employed and you need some bank statement programs, or maybe you're an investor and you need that, debt ratio, that debt service ratio loan, where we're only qualifying the property itself. FHA, VA, if you're a vet, we're doing it all, and we're giving you guys all the education and information that you could possibly need. We want to make sure that you guys are all watching us do this live, and we want you to put your questions into the feed and ask us your questions. Jen, I can't actually see the feed this time, which is weird. I can usually see when the comments and stuff, so I don't know if there's something you got to hit, but we want you guys to ask us your questions. We want you to tell us that you're here. We want you to tell us that you're watching, and we want to make sure that you're part of the show. So if you guys want to call in, you're welcome to do that. It's 844-935-3634. That's 844 we lend for you. That is LEND and the number 4. That way you guys can get your voice on radio, whatever station it is that you found us on, whether you're in Arizona or Nevada or California or Texas or Georgia. We're expanding. So whatever your favorite radio station is that you heard us, you will hear your voice on radio over the weekend if you call in while the show is live. How do you call in during the show? How do you ask us your questions? How do you put them into the feed? Well, you got to text the word mom. So text the word mom to 844-935-3634. Same phone number that you would call if you want to hear your voice. But you're going to text the word mom to that number, and that is going to make sure that you get the message. We send out a link right when we go live every single Wednesday. So best way to be able to follow, be interactive, be part of the show. All right, so let's do some catching up with mom. I know that it looks like Jen's having a hard time getting the comments to come up, and so I don't know who's there. I don't know if they're asking questions. So we'll do some catching up with mom, and then hopefully by that time we can get some of those back. Maybe she might have to put her microphone, turn it on, and she might have to read us the comments that are coming in like Matt used to do. But in the meantime, let's talk about your windows. How did that go?
It was quite the process, but we got them in. They're amazing. Oh my gosh, my house is so much cooler. So I'm very happy. Got all our windows but 3. 3 of them came wrong. So we get to do it all over again. But majority of them are in, and yesterday they finished painting the inside and outside around the windows. So
nice.
I'm officially done, at least for a few months.
Okay. So they did get the 3 extras in that were wrong.
No, they're on order.
Okay. All right. I don't know what you just did right now, but you were much louder and you sounded better to me. So keep doing it. I don't know if you talked louder, it was like, no.
No.
Like, there she is. She sounds great. I don't know if you were more on top of your mic or what, but you sounded awesome. So do it again. Say no.
No. No. So they came wrong. They had to be reordered. And last time it took 3.5 months, almost 4 months for them to come in. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know when we'll get them. And of course, 2 of them were the largest windows I have in my house.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, hopefully it's not 3 months. Hopefully it's sooner. So
yeah, I hope.
But it was definitely loud. Yeah, I can only imagine you probably had a headache every single day as you were trying to work through that. If it were me, I would have picked up and left for the day and gone somewhere else. But I know you had the dogs and you didn't want to leave and you were,
Yeah, I got the dogs, I got the cats. I mean, there's just only so much you can do. So it was like, playing, move the animals to different rooms as they're working through the house. And so dogs inside, dogs outside, cats in a different room.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but well worth it. They did a fantastic job. So I'm super happy with it. And definitely necessary. Now my AC feels like it actually works. So that's a plus. The other day, I think I was on the phone with you and I was sitting at my desk and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so cold. Like normally that doesn't happen because our windows were so bad that we were basically air conditioning the outside.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, my house is kind of an older house as well. And the people that we bought the home from had actually, they appear to be new windows. They don't look like some of the other homes in the neighborhood. So I'm going to guess that they did at some point in time redo those. But, I can't even imagine if yours were still were they just single pane and...
They were double pane, but they were the original windows. However, they didn't close all the way. Majority of my windows didn't close all the way. And then one of them I had actually tried to open and I ripped the frame off the glass.
Ooh.
So that's how bad they were. None of them were sealed. They really needed to be redone, especially the one that I, pulled the frame off the glass.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to try to do this the old school way. I'm going to go from my phone to the channel to see what people are commenting and if they are, because Jen's having a really hard time finding the chat box for it to come up for us. So it looks like it's there, but Jen, why don't you, I think what would be easier is go ahead and plug in your mic and then just read us the comments as they come in if you can see them. Can you see them? I know I told you to unplug your mic, so we'll give you a second to plug it in. But it looks like, see, I can do it this way too. So it says, my dad gets on, he says, hi. Heather says, hi, ladies. And Heather says, hi, everyone. So Heather, let me know, how's our sound? Are we loud enough this time? Are we sounding good? You guys, we are doing this live. If you're out there, you're watching, we can see that there's more of you than just these 3. So say hi, tell us that you're there, and ask us your questions. That's what makes this show amazing. I'm going to get a lot of echoing by you being on, Jen. So I guess you're going to have to mute yourself. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to have to do it this old school way and just keep watching my phone for the chat. I don't know where it went and why it's not working. So I would say pull it out at this point because we're gonna echo. So when you have the 2 mics on at the same time, then I can hear myself going through her mic as well, and it starts to get loud. So we'll just do it this way. Chief Manny says it sounds good, so at least we know that the sound is there. So once again, you guys, this is Mortgage Mom Radio. We do this live. You can see it. We're in studio. She's at her house in her little studio. She's zooming with me. It's Heidi Schlegel Points, and this is truly live. So you're seeing it, and the sound that comes from this show is going to radio over the weekend. So one thing that I mentioned that I didn't tell you, Heidi, is right now I told you that we expanded. We went into Washington, went into Nevada, and we are now going to be in Havasu. We are going to, Arizona, and we are going to be in Texas. We're going to San Antonio, and we are going to be in Savannah, Georgia. So those 3 stations will start not this weekend, but the following weekend. So we're just moving. We're spreading out all over the place. I'm super excited about it.
Very exciting.
Right?
I love how I get to find out stuff when we Zoom.
When we Zoom live, while everybody's watching.
Right.
I know. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a very quick break. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves just a small commercial, and that way I can take a quick sip of my drink, and then we're going to be right back, and we're going to start talking about mortgage, education, and all of the information that you guys need. So if you have questions that you want to know, this is the time to call. They'll put you through the studio so that we can hear your call and you can ask us your questions. This is the time to go ahead and put your question into the feed, and we'll read those out loud and we'll answer them for you. But we're going to take a super, super fast break, and we'll be right back. All right. So thank you so much for waiting. Welcome back. That one was kind of cool. It was looked like some swimming going on. I made Mikey change the winter snow commercial that he ran last week for us. So that one I think is a little bit more fitting. It is still summer until technically September 24th. So everybody, stay in that mind frame of summer, tan, shorts, water. Enjoy it while it's here. Don't jump forward too fast. I told everybody last week, my sister has already decorated for Halloween. It's too soon. It's too soon, Tracy, too soon. So anyway, all right. So I want to talk about some stuff, and I'm sure that you do too. We do have a question that came in from Brenda Sanchez. She says, is it possible to purchase the land and manufactured home separate, but in the same home loan? So that's actually a great question. Do you want me to take it or do you want to take it?
Oh, that's all you.
Okay. All right. So Brenda, I'm going to tell you that with manufactured homes, number one, what I would suggest is that you call the manufacturer that you're going to buy the home from if you are looking for financing. Mobile homes are much, much different than, and manufactured homes are much different than residential, real, stick built, I guess is what you'd call it, brick and mortar, stick built homes. It really is different. So for example, if you're going to buy a manufactured home from Fleetwood, I would absolutely reach out to them and ask them for who their resources are that they would typically refer to. Those are going to be your very best places for help. Heidi and I, could we probably put one together for you? Absolutely. Do we do them all of the time? Never. That's a 0 for me. How many have you done, Heidi?
Oh, not many. I have done them.
Yes. Now, I've done manufactured home financing, but it's already built. It's already there. It's existing.
Right. It is existing. So I have never done one that is not existing on a property already.
Right. So what I would highly suggest is, number one, you can get a construction loan which will give you the money to buy the land and build the property. So those do exist. They are out there, and it is something that can happen. But again, we are not your experts on it, and we are straightforward and very honest about that. I'm not going to take on a loan in our office that we are not familiar with, that we might mess up, we might not get it done right. So I would absolutely talk with the manufacturer that you're planning to buy that brand new mobile home from or manufactured home from, and make sure that you ask them for the best resources that they can provide. And then that is where I would call. But can you do it? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. All right. So that was the only question at this time. So unless anybody else has a question, which we want you guys to do as we go along. So keep putting them in the feed. Please keep typing, doing what you got to do. We're going to keep reading them and we're going to keep answering them. Brenda, if you have an additional question to follow up with that, please do that. Again, the show is interactive. That's what makes this show awesome, is you get to ask the question and get the answer immediately. So if you guys do want to join us, you want to do it while we're doing it live, you want to interact, you want to be part of the show, and you guys are listening over the weekend by radio, best way to know when we go live is to text us. So text the word mom to 844-935-3634. What does that spell, Heidi?
We lend for you.
That is right. 844, we lend for you. That is LEND and the number 4. That is the very best way. Text the word mom to that number. You will get one link a week, and that is it, I promise. No other spam. That just lets you know that we are going live. So if you want to be interactive, you want to ask your questions, you want to call into the studio during the show to get your sound, your voice on radio, you got to call while we are recording. Same exact phone number. It's 844 we lend for you. That's LEND and the number 4. So let's go ahead. I have a couple things I want to talk about today, and I know you always do. You've always got some good stuff you like to hit on. One thing that I did want to bring up that we haven't talked about in a while, and it's very, very important, is title. So if you have title issues, title liens, your property's in a trust, numerous things that can be going on inside of the title of your home, I want to make sure that you understand that that has absolutely zero to do with the lender. That has nothing to do with us. We need to get title insurance. We need to get the information from the title company and the escrow company, and they cannot provide it to us unless you provide them what they're looking for. So we have had some loans that have been held up. We get delayed. And the biggest problem with that is that the escrow company sends out information. when we open escrow for that refinance and the clients do not respond. They do not get on top of it. I don't know if they don't know what it is. I don't know if they feel like I'm just going to ignore it. It'll go away. I'm not exactly sure what takes place in that situation, but they are reaching out to you for a reason. It is something that's very important. It does come down to the title of your property. It does have to do with liens that might be there that we need to get cleared. Maybe they're old liens that never got removed correctly, or maybe it's something you didn't even know was there. So it is very, very important. And especially if you are in a trust, we've got to get a trust cert notarized, and there's things that need to happen. So I've just seen delays. I've actually seen loans crash and burn at the last minute because things come up on title that were not addressed at the beginning. And again, I'm not providing the title insurance. The lender's not providing the title insurance, but we can't close without it. So I don't know if you have anything you want to kind of bring up in regard to that. I know I never tell you what I'm going to talk about, but this is something that has come up a couple of times here recently. And I think it's important that as those things happen, that we're bringing them back around.
Yeah. So I'm going to add a little bit to that.
Yeah.
When you are talking to your loan officer and they are asking you if you have any additional debts that may not be on your credit, this is what we're talking about. So if you have tax liens, but they're not on your credit, but they're on title, most of the time they're there. We will find out.
Yes.
And you need to be upfront about it because this is going to be part of something that has to be paid off and taken care of prior to closing your loan. If you have taken out a second with CalHFA, right? So you've done a second that maybe you're not making payments on. You've done a home improvement loan. You're not making payments on it. Again, these are all items that have to be taken care of before we can close your loan. This is not something that no one is going to notice.
We're going to find out every time.
We're going to find out every time. If you've taken out a third, believe it or not, we've still found those. These are all items that are in the upfront discussion because this is something we have to know when we structure your loan to see what you can and cannot qualify for and whether or not we're even going to be able to go down the path to get you your loan or what path we have to take to get you your loan. So when Debbie's talking about title issues, these may not be issues, but they are items that we have to solve for. And we need to know up front when we're structuring your loan that we can get them done and cleared. And we can let title and escrow know up front, here are some items to look for, and we're going to need payoff demands. And we also can tell you what we need from you in order to get those going so we're not delayed at the end. But
yeah.
I want to be clear, everything will be seen.
Yes, everything. And we have to address all of it, right? So there's things that I think that honestly clients don't think about. It's in the initial conversation. They don't even know to tell us, but they're really important. So for example, if you are a small business owner and you took an SBA loan, many times those SBA loans are not only tied to your business, but they are also tied additionally to your property if you are a homeowner, because it's a backup protection for SBA that they will get repayment, especially because SBA a lot of times is for those brand new startup businesses that don't have a long track record of or history of, being, successful, knowing if they're going to last. So they will record a lien against your property. And although you feel like that is your business's debt, if it's tied against your property, we need to address it. And we need to figure out if we even have a way to move forward. Many times those SBA loans cannot be removed. They can be subordinated, so they will come off and go back on. But if you don't have enough equity to carry the new mortgage we're trying to do and the amount of that SBA loan, all of a sudden your loan's gone, right? And if we don't find out about it until we're halfway through the process and we've ordered an appraisal, but we were waiting for the title information, then you're out the money of an appraisal. And we don't want that to happen to anybody. So there's a lot of things, again, that I don't think that people think about. That's what this show is for. We want to get you guys thinking. Something that Heidi brought up that I want to drive home is CalHFA, or if you did down payment assistance. In your mind, you're not thinking anything about that. You forget that you signed for a second or maybe even a third. to get into the payment. You got down payment assistance and closing cost credits, right? Now you've got liens. Those liens have to be paid off if you're going to do a refinance. You can't leave them in place. So you're calling us saying, hey, my loan amount, I owe $200,000, but you're forgetting about the $25,000 second and the $15,000 third, right? And so what do you really owe? You actually owe quite a bit more than what you thought you did. And that's going to change. Can we still do this loan? What are some other things, Heidi, that you've seen that people don't realize might be there? Because that's, again, we're trying to bring the education. We want people to understand, more than what they would just walking into an application and never having heard us before.
So it's not common, but I have seen where there are family liens on the property where they have taken over the property. However, they owe X amount to family members because it was either a trust situation or a buyout situation. However, they didn't technically buy out the whole property. So there's still liens on it to brother, sister, mother, father, cousin, whoever. And those have to be paid off as well. And a lot of times people don't really think about those because the people have agreed that they're not going to be paid off until they refinance it, they sell it, whatever. There's really no rush. However, those are still liens on the property.
Right. And again,
those have come up.
Right. And if they can talk to us in advance about it and tell us, hey, this exists, then then we can, ask them, do you think that your family member would be willing to remove the lien so that you can do the loan, right? So that you can do that refinance. No, they're not going to remove their lien. They just really don't feel comfortable doing that. Okay, not a problem, but now we're going to have to pay them off. Or, yeah, I'm sure that they would as long as we can put it back. Get it off. We'll do the application. Then you guys do whatever you're going to do when we're done, right? Yeah. So, I think that that's a good one because we do see that many times, especially in family transfers and trusts and things of that nature,
Another big one, if you've had a bankruptcy, and you filed bankruptcy and you had all this debt cleared, you thought. However, sometimes very specific items have to be filed that maybe liens were put on title. And even if they were cleared through your bankruptcy, if that was not removed through title and a separate document was filed to have that lien, that is still a lien on title. So that is always something to bring up, like, hey, I had a lien, but I had a bankruptcy. We have to look into that because it doesn't mean just because it was cleared on your bankruptcy. If all the appropriate documentation was not done with that bankruptcy to have that lien actually removed, that can still be a lien. And we've run into it more than a handful of times where that lien actually still stands.
Yes, we have. And so some good example of that. And I love that you brought that up. I mean, this is a topic, again, we haven't talked about in a really long time. Probably the last time we did it was maybe a joint effort with Joe Pena, our title rep. He hasn't been with us to do this since beginning of last year, 2020. Right. So it really good, something for us to bring up. And I loved this subject. And we've just run into it again a couple of times this week. And so I thought it was very important that we talk about it because it really does help people. But, one of the things, for example, in a bankruptcy that might get removed would be if you had a lien against the property for, let's say you had a credit card that went bad and for some reason the credit card company put the lien against your title. That is something that if we get a copy of the bankruptcy documents, we can easily get removed, right? But then there's other things such as a home equity line of credit. Many people will file bankruptcy on a home equity line of credit. Those actually I have seen removed through a bankruptcy and I have seen them get stuck even though they were part of the filing. There is an additional step after the bankruptcy is done that the attorney has to take in filing to get that debt released. And if the attorney did not take that step and did not do that paperwork, even if you included that lien or that line of credit in your bankruptcy, you are not going to be able to complete that refinance unless you pay off the debt. So that lien's going to stay on that property until it's been released, and it can't be released if the attorney didn't do all of the steps. So many times I've seen that, and it's sad to say, I've seen that not get done numerous times. Not a good one. Not a good one. All right. Well, this is a great time to let everybody know if you guys have questions about anything that we talk about. Please ask us your questions. This is live. We're doing it Wednesday at noon. I think I like this time. I think we're going to stick with it moving forward. So every Wednesday at noon, you'll see Mortgage Mom Radio. You want a link to watch us do it live, to interact, be part of the show. Call in, ask your questions by phone right into the studio. Hear your voice on your favorite radio station that you listen to us on. You got to know when we're going live. So text the word mom to 844-935-3634. What's that spell, Heidi?
We lend for you. LEND and the number 4.
Very good. I love it. So text the word mom to that number and you will get a link once a week letting you know that we're going live. All you have to do is click on it. That way you can watch. You want to call the studio, same exact phone number. You want to call the office, talk with one of our loan officers, get that free phone consultation, same phone number. How do you book a phone consultation if you don't feel like calling? Go to the website. Go to mortgagemomradio.com. You can click on that book phone consultation button and pick a time and day that works best for you. You can even reschedule it yourself if you'd like. I think we had a lady actually reschedule like 3 or 4 times this week. And I love it because she's obviously things are coming up, but she wants to talk to us. And it's reminding her, hey, you got to call tomorrow. Oh, okay, let me reschedule it, right? So It's going to let you be in touch or in charge of your schedule, not us. And if there is not a time and day that works best for you, just send me an email. Questions@mortgagemomradio.com. I will make sure that we get somebody on the team available to take your call and answer your questions during a time that is convenient for you. No, we are not going to do 2 o'clock in the morning, but if you need a 7 or 8 o'clock at night call, or you need a 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning call, and the first call you see on there is 9 a.m., not a problem. Send me an email. I've got somebody that's always up and moving early, and we've always got somebody that's working a little bit later into the evenings. Saturdays and Sundays, we take calls as well. So if you're listening to this show and you want to call in, you want to get a call back today, then just go to the website. Go to mortgagemomradio.com and click on that phone appointment. Schedule it. They're taking calls. They will call you back. Schedule that call today, Saturday or Sunday. And again, if you don't see a time that works for you, shoot me an email. It's questions@mortgagemomradio.com, and I will get somebody that can help you out if it's a time that's not on the calendar and available. So anyway, I just want to make sure that I throw that out there. Everybody that's listening right now, let us know you're there. Ask us your questions. Put them in the feed. This is an interactive show. The more questions that you ask, the more knowledge that we can get out there. If you're thinking the questions, so is somebody else. So it's awesome. Checking it old school. I don't see any new comments, so we're going to keep rolling. Let's go to a quick... Okay, well, before we go to a quick break, do you have anything else that you want to say or that we didn't touch on as you're thinking about title?
I would just say, again, keep an eye out on tax liens. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Equity tax liens, IRS tax liens, child support. So these are all liens that can be on there if you owe back child support, spousal support, family support, anything like that. Even if you feel like you're current today, if there was a lien on there, let's talk about it. If you owe back taxes, IRS taxes, state taxes, taxes. Let's talk about it. I mean, there are people that have been making payments for a long time. If all of a sudden you get in default a little bit, you could have a lien. So again, it doesn't have to be on your credit report. We may not see that. And you may be like, well, I'm making payments. But if you know you were in the rears, I mean, we've had people that are in the rears from 2010. Okay. There's a lien on there, potentially. So we have to solve for that. And then again, property taxes. If you have been behind on your property tax, maybe you're paying today's taxes, but you owe from years ago, that also has to be solved for. So these are all things to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because especially since the credit guidelines changed back about 2-3 years ago, where tax liens used to be on the credit report and they now are not there. No. That doesn't mean that they don't exist. There's tons of tax liens, right? Lots of people have tax liens, and they're going to definitely file it against your property if you've got a home of value and you've got equity in the home and you owe the taxes, whether that be property taxes, income taxes. You very well could have a lien. So definitely something very important to talk to us about. Also, if you have back taxes that you owe, why, if you've got equity in your home, why are we sitting on it? Let's do a refinance. Let's get that paid off. Why continue to pay the super high interest that, the IRS is charging for that lien that's sitting there that's not satisfied? So definitely, talk to us about it. Just let us know if there's anything at all that you could possibly feel that might come up, could be there, could be an issue. And one last thing I want to bring up before we take a quick break are loan modifications. Loan modifications are also going to be on title. They do get recorded when you agree to them. Many times with the loan modification comes a second. The second is the back arrears that you didn't pay, that they're agreeing to put towards the or put at the end of the loan, and then you pay it later. So make sure, if you have ever done a loan modification ever, that you let us know so that we can actually look into that right up front. Again, the whole point of this show is to make things a little bit easier. We want to know about it in advance. That way we can do the research that we need before we jump into a loan application that's not going to close. Yeah? Good?
Yeah.
You think we did it?
I think I'm out of things that are on title.
On title. Perfect. I love it. All right. So let's take a very quick break and then we'll come right back. Okay, so welcome back to Mortgage Mom Radio. Like I said, it's a quick break. I mean, we're just literally just throwing something in there to just kind of break it up and be able to sip a little drink of water in between. So is there anything, Heidi, like you've always got really good things too that you're encountering as you go along? Is there anything that you want to bring up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've got something.
Okay.
Actually, I have two things.
Okay.
So first thing, when you come in, you want to do a loan and we run your credit and you've got something that you have co-signed for somebody on. And you're like, no, that's my son's car.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Love it. We can exclude that debt only if we can prove that the other party has been making the payments for a minimum of 12 months. And when I say that, it means that other party cannot be making payments through a joint account with you or anyone else on the loan application. If they are, can't exclude it because we can't prove who's actually making the payment. 2, we have to get the actual documentation. And this seems to be a very big challenge for clients that want us to exclude the debt. They don't understand why we need it, what we're asking for. And 9 times out of 10, I think this should be enough. It's not enough. It's not what I asked for. It's not enough. So if you co-signed for your child, your mother, your cousin, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, I don't care who, for me, okay, we have to get one bank statement showing the person that actually is paying, their name, their account number, all their information. It is not to be intrusive. We have to show that it is their bank account. Then I need, after that statement that should show one payment, I need 11 more months transaction history that will show me the last 4 digits of the account number and every single payment to the creditor with a minimum monthly payment. So what I tend to get is a snapshot that says all payments have been made. Okay, that doesn't show me who paid them. Or I get a snapshot of someone's account, I don't know whose, of 12 months accounts being paid. Because the other party does not feel that they should provide their personal information. And I understand that.
Yeah,
However,
I don't, considering the fact that you went out of your way to co-sign to help somebody and now you need help, right, and they don't want to give you the information.
That's always my argument.
Right?
So that's always my argument,
yeah,
is if you co-signed for them to get something they really wanted, then they should not have any issue providing you with a bank statement and then 11 more months transaction history. That is a requirement if we are trying to exclude the debt, stating that you are not liable for it, because we have to prove that you are not jumping in and making those payments if they don't, because technically you are liable for that debt.
Right. So what I want to throw in here, because, and I know
Mm-hmm.
you've got a lot, and this is actually a great topic. It's not one that we've talked about. I don't even know if ever, right? But there are a lot of times that you do co-sign for family to help them, right? So if it's a car loan, if it's a somebody's credit card authorized user, personal loan of some sort, and you have signed, co-signed, yes, we can get 12 months proof that somebody else is making the payment. Copy of their bank statement, like Heidi said, copy of transaction history for all 12 of those payments that came out of the account that matches the account number with the bank statement we have. We can exclude the debt. But we cannot exclude the debt when it is a mortgage if the person paying the mortgage payment is not a co-signer. So this is a little bit confusing, but let's say mom and dad co-sign for son so that he can get his house. Son is making the payments. Son is making the payments directly to the bank, not to parents, and we can get son's bank statement and son's payment history. We can exclude the debt, okay? If we have son sending the money to mom and dad are making the payment because obviously they're worried about their credit, they're protecting themselves, we now cannot exclude the debt from mom and dad because mom and dad are truthfully the ones making the payment. So keep this in mind if you guys are thinking about doing family things, you're thinking about helping out your brother, thinking about helping out your sister, your cousin, your kid, right? Whoever is going to be responsible for that mortgage payment needs to make the payment directly to the lender. But number two is many times we'll have mom buy a property, but son is going to make the mortgage payments. But son is not on the loan. Mom bought it, mom financed it. We absolutely have to hit you, mom, for that mortgage payment. There is absolutely no possibility whatsoever of not counting that debt. On a mortgage, we can only exclude the debt if it is a co-signed loan, both borrowers are responsible for the note, and the other borrower makes the payment. Did I do that clear enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very one of those things that come up quite frequently. We have a lot of family members co-signing for family members. I think it's amazing. I think it's fantastic. But I think that everybody needs to understand how that works. And another thing I really want to drive home that Heidi said is 12 months. So if you co-sign for a car for your kid and only 3 months have gone by, even if that car is only 3 months old, if we do not have 12 months of canceled checks or transaction history from that loan, we cannot exclude that debt. So when you do go to co-sign for somebody, whether it's a mortgage or it's some other kind of debt, keep in mind that it's going to put you off 1 year from going to do anything that you want to do if you cannot qualify with that debt on your credit report, right? 12 months, guys. 12 months for everything. 12 months for alimony if you want us to use it in income. 12 months for child support if you want us to use it. I think actually child support we can get away with 6 months, but in some situations. But the majority of the time, 12 months is the golden rule. But debt is 12 months. 12 months.
Yep. Yeah. And it can't be, well, I can source 11 months, but this 1 month I went in and I paid with the cashier's check and I can't show that. It's not 12 months.
Right.
So, and that's what I was going to say before Debbie jumped in. It has to go directly from the payee to the creditor. No back and forth to other people. That doesn't count. We just cannot exclude it. And since we're on this topic, I'm also going to go into parents co-signing for their kids' student loans.
Oh, my favorite. I love it. See, I this is why you're my co-host. I love it. You've got such great ideas.
Student loans, we can't exclude the debt. Now, if payments are being made, again, if your child is making those payments and we can prove it for 12 months, perfect.
But but they're still in school. But Heidi, they're still in school.
Okay, so they're still in school. We don't make any payments, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're going to have to hit you for either showing us proof of what those payments will be by getting a letter from the creditor, or depending on the program, we're going to have to hit you for 0.5% of the balance or 1% of the balance.
Yeah, up to 1%, I think,
Up
is the
to.
worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But that is really the biggest thing but it's deferred. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's
Doesn't
deferred.
matter.
It will eventually be due.
Eventually, it's a debt that is due.
Right. And we have to
And-
qualify you assuming that you can pay this debt today and pay
Yep.
that debt tomorrow, right? The other thing is that parents, even if you're getting the parent loans, but the kid is going to make the payment, there's no way to provide evidence that your kid is going to make that payment. We can't get them to write a letter that says, I promise and swear to make the payments when they find. We can't do that. So again,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We don't want you to get upset about it. We have had some clients recently that don't like the rules. We don't make the rules. We didn't write the guidelines. If I could approve every single loan, stamp it and sign it, I would. I would never, ever tell anybody no. That is why I'm not an underwriter.
This is why she doesn't write the guidelines.
This is why I don't write the guidelines. I would love to go. Common sense tells me that that was a parent loan and you did it for your kid. And I'm going to agree with you. And it is deferred and they're still in school and they're just a freshman. And it's going to be like 4 or 5 years down the road. You know what? Yeah, let's just ignore it. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist. But that's not an option, right? That's not the reality of what the guideline is. And so we're here to bring you guys to reality. So again, you know what to ask us when you're on the phone with us.
Right.
Hey, is this $100,000 that I co-signed in student loans for my kid to be an attorney? Is this going to be a problem? Well,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, it
Very
could
well
be.
could be. Yes, very,
Depends.
very
How
well
much
could
money
be.
do you make?
Right, exactly. And if you make
Yeah.
the money that you can afford for us to hit you for either a 0.5% or 1%, 1% being the worst case scenario, if we could take that 100,000 and hit you for 1%, which is $1,000 a month, and you can qualify carrying that debt, then no big deal. No
Right.
big deal at all. If you can't qualify, you know you're really tight, there's no way we could throw that in there and get you the loan that you want, then we need to talk about, well, what options are there? Okay, well, maybe you go on an income-based repayment plan. Maybe the income isn't enough that a payment isn't even due. But because it's considered income-based, we don't have to hit you for the debt. If it's a conventional loan, again, FHA and VA, totally different than conventional. So we really need to discuss the situation and we need to get you prepared. And that's the whole point of Mortgage Mom Radio. We're giving you a plan. We're educating you. We're making sure that we're getting you prepared to cross the finish line for the financing that you want. So the only way to do that is to get a phone appointment and call us and get that consultation. We're not charging you any money, but let us know what you have going on. Call us before you fill out the application for the student loan and say, hey, I was really hoping that I could buy a house in 6 months, but my kid's going off to college and I'm going to sign this note. And what does this do to me? Hey, let's find that out before you sign it. Right?
Exactly. So they're just, and I probably get to see, because I get to see every loan officer's loans they put together. And so everybody that works with us, I see your loan. I work through your loan. You get an email from me. We chat, get to ask me questions, normally on email, sometimes phone calls, depending on if that's what you prefer. But I get to see all of these scenarios. Debbie will see majority of them, but I get to see them all the way through the finish line. So these come up and I get these questions, but this is what I gave you. It should be enough. No.
But
If
it's
that was
not.
enough,
Yeah.
that's all I would ask for. I promise.
Right.
I don't want to look at any more documentation than you want to send me more documentation. But we have to satisfy the guideline.
Yeah, and we don't want to ask for more. We don't want to look at more. We don't want to receive more. We don't want to bother you. Trust me. That
Nope.
is not what we want. So we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we try to minimize that for you. And the best way for us to do that is for you to talk to us, call us, work through the scenario. Let's figure out what the best thing to do is. Are you ready right now? Awesome. Apply. If you're not ready right now, no big deal. Let's get you the plan. Let's get you the game plan. And so that you know exactly what you need to do to get that loan to work. So I think that was fantastic. I know you said you had 2 things that you wanted to talk about. Again, I want to remind everybody, if you guys want to be part of the conversation, this is an open show. Everybody can be involved. Anybody that wants to ask a question can. You can do that by either calling in. We can put you right through to the studio. You can ask us a question with your voice on air. You guys can put it right into the feed, ask your questions there. We're going to read them out loud, just like we did Brenda's earlier today, and we can answer those questions for you. So if you want to be part of the show, you want to be interactive, you need to text the word mom to 844-935-3634. Heidi?
We lend for you. Lend and the number 4. Sorry, I totally had a squirrel moment.
No, you're okay. I you know what? You got mad at me that one time. You're like, I finally know it, and you didn't ask me.
No, I didn't.
But that's the phone number to call us. That is the phone number to book a phone consultation right by phone. You can go to the website, mortgagemomradio.com, click on that book phone consultation button and book it yourself. You can send me an email with your questions if you'd like. It's questions@mortgagemomradio.com. But if you text the word mom to 844-935-3634, that's 844, we lend for you. That's LEND and the number 4. If you text the word mom to that number, you will get a link once a week. And all it says is we are live. Click on the link and it will bring you to our show so that you can watch us do it live. You can interact, you can ask questions, and you can call in if you'd like and get your voice on radio. So just want to throw that out there and remind everybody that that's how you do it. If you want to be part of it, you want to be part of the conversation, and you want to be involved. And we would love to have you. Love to have you. So you said that you had a second thing that you wanted to talk about today, but one more time before we get there, everybody listening by radio on Saturday, I think I've said it numerous times, but we take the show, we do it live on Wednesdays. It's on YouTube. You can watch us do it. We're in studio. You can see us on camera. If you're listening by radio, you can't see what I'm talking about, but every single week I wear my Mortgage Mom Radio t-shirt religiously. And I've told Heidi over and over again, wear your Mortgage Mom Radio shirt. She usually does not wear the shirt. So this week I was like, I don't feel like wearing it today. So I just throw on my, wife, mom, boss shirt. I thought, okay, well, it's good, right? It's a cute shirt. Right. And you're wearing your Mortgage Mom.
I like to keep you on your toes.
Right? Well, hey, at least one of us is wearing the image, so that's good. But like literally, I feel like I've worn that shirt, some form of it, some color contrast of it, every single week for the year. I mean, however long we've had those shirts for. And you'll come on and wear something different. And I don't care, But it was just so funny this time. I'm like, she's not going to wear it anyway. I'm going to wear something different today. So I'm sitting here and you're like fully in your Mortgage Mom shirt. I'm like, darn it.
I know.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I like to keep you on your toes.
You do. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right. So what do you got for me? We're at 47 minutes-ish. So we've got about 6 minutes left of the show. So let's get one more topic in, one more good one, and then we'll shut it down for the day, and we'll be back next week at noon.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about assets, and I'll just keep it short. But when you are purchasing a home, we have to verify the money you are using to purchase your house. That means the money you put into escrow up front that they ask you for, the money you're using for the rest of your down payment, and the money you're using for your closing costs. When we ask you to verify these money that you're using, the funds, that means you have to show us where you got the money. Okay. If you have large deposits, I will ask you, please write a letter to explain the large deposit and proof of the source. That means show me the other bank account it came from. Give me a copy of the canceled check. Show me the wire. However you got that money, I need to see it.
Right. Where did it come from?
Where did it come from? And there are a couple things that are not acceptable. You cannot take cash advances from your credit card for your down payment.
No, you actually can't take any loan.
You cannot take any unsecured
loan. That's where I was going. Absolutely zero loans for your down payment or closing costs unless it is secured against another piece of property that you own. So keep that in mind. No. Now, you can take a loan against your 401k. That's a different situation. Those are your own assets, and you're taking a loan against yourself, and that is totally fine. You have a
Absolutely.
huge account with Charles Schwab and you want to take a loan against your assets instead of taking your money out of the market, and Schwab is willing to do that, or whoever your big financial advisor is, or Ameritrade, fantastic, go for it. Those are funds that are your funds and you're just choosing to do it in a different way, right? But no, you cannot call Cash Call. You cannot call Prosper. What are all of these ones? Lending Club. You cannot go take a personal unsecured loan for your down payment or closing costs. So keep that in mind, please.
Yes, please keep that in mind. If you are using a 401k, I will ask you for something called a plan summary or terms and conditions of withdrawal. We do need that. It is not negotiable. You have to actually provide that.
Yes.
It's not difficult to get. So please, I will tell you where to get it from as well. You can get it from your HR. You can get it directly from the 401k plan holder. Either one, call them. They'll email it to you. You email it to me. You don't even have to read it. I'll take care of that.
Right.
It is a requirement. Okay. If you have loans against your 401k, your total amount is minus your loan that's already in there. So please keep that in mind when you think that that is the money you have to purchase something.
Right. Available. Correct.
That is not your total available balance. It will tell you available balance. They are including the amount that you already have taken as your loan.
Right. So let's think about this for a
Please
second,
keep that
right?
in mind.
Right. Let's think about this for a second. So you've got $50,000 loan against $100,000 balance, right? So you really only have 50,000 available. But then let's think about this even further. If you try to do a hardship withdrawal to purchase a primary residence, which is typically allowed, I'm going to say typically because every 401k
Everyone's
company,
different.
it's going to be a little slightly different. Maybe yours doesn't allow it, but the majority, most of the time, you can do that. But you're going to also have taxes that are going to be withheld from the balance that's available. So you're not going to actually get 50, even if you still have 50 remaining. You're going to probably end up with 42 or 41 or, somewhere in that range, right?
Correct. So this is all stuff to keep in mind. And when we're asking you, we have to prove where your deposit to escrow came from. So we're going to ask you for the bank statement showing it came out of your account. If you are going on the loan by yourself and you're married and it came out of your wife's account or your husband's account that are not on it, it is considered a gift. I understand the argument. I get the argument. It's just not an argument.
It's community
It's
property.
still considered a gift. We've heard it all. I understand it. It's still considered a gift. Certain loans, we don't have to prove where the gift came from if it went directly into escrow. Other loans, we do. So if you get a gift from somebody, we're not going to go into loan detail, but if you get a gift, please be prepared to be able to provide that donor's bank statement.
Yes.
Because you may need it.
Yes.
You may not, but you may. So just the point of assets, please make sure you understand what you need to close your loan and that you are able to prove where that money came from and that it's actually a valid source of money.
Correct.
Because you do not want to get into an escrow purchasing a home and find out you do not have the means to purchase that home.
Right. And if you have cash underneath of your mattress or in your safe, that was my favorite, with the pictures that I got texted to me from the client showing me what was in his safe. That doesn't work.
My favorite was the gold bars.
Yes. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. I'm very sorry. Doesn't work. Right. It can't be cash. So if you have cash,
money.
yes, if you have cash and that is how you're planning on buying your property or buying your home, or that's where you're going to get the money from, please call us. Please talk to us. Please in advance. Of going out there and writing an offer. One more thing I'll bring up, and then we'll have to shut it down for this show, but we'll be back next week, of course. Crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, ADA, Cardano, all the good stuff, right? Almost everybody at this point, I'm not going to say everybody, but a very good amount of people at this point have some sort of crypto because it's the thing, right?
Right.
And do I think it's going to go somewhere in the future? I do. I have some of my own.
Right.
But if you are not held, if you are holding in a wallet where you are not getting a monthly statement showing us the balance that is there and accruing, then there is no way for us to use that asset towards your down payment and closing costs. So for example, if you have your money with Robinhood, as an example, where you can buy different cryptocurrencies, they provide you with a monthly statement of your assets in their bank. So yes, you could go ahead and sell those assets and we could utilize that money because we have an account showing that the money is seasoned, that it's been sitting there, it's yours. If you have your money in a wallet, for example, a Coinbase wallet, or a exchange that doesn't provide you with a statement, then we're not going to be able to use it. So again, you need to reach out to us in advance and say, I'm planning on buying a house. I'm getting my money from here. What do I do? And let us talk to you through it. Let's talk about what the options are. And then that way we can determine what your timing is, that you're actually ready to go look at a house and make an offer and get into escrow. Because we might need to get some money and put it in the bank, and we might have to season. We may have to get that crypto sent over to brother's crypto account and let him send you a gift. That might not work if you're an FHA borrower or if you're a VA borrower where we need to see brother's account. If we have to see his statement too and you can't provide a statement, that doesn't work. So call us, talk to us, let us take you through the assets. Let's determine, what do you need to do? How long do you need to wait? When are you ready? And then, we could go from there. So yeah. All right. I would say that is it for the show. We have run out of time. It is once a week. It is Wednesdays. I think we've determined that we really like the hour of noon. So we're going to try to do it every single Wednesday at noon. That is Pacific time. So Central and Eastern, you guys can do the exchange in your head what time we'll be on. But it is noon Pacific time every Wednesday. You want to know when we're live? Text the word MOM to 844-935-3634. And we'll be back next week. Thanks so much, Heidi. You're always amazing.
Thank you. Have a great week.
All right. Have a great week, guys. See ya.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Financial Institutions, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Florida LO 76508, Georgia 69178, Idaho, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done. When you're in need and don't know where to go, pick up the phone and call Mom.